Sounds like a job for Woody. Wild Woody!
Subscribe!
All my Detroit Lions fans. Hold on. I would like to take a second before we go any further with this video and thank all the group owners on Facebook, all the content creators, people like Darcy in the Detroit News, Joe Caps, everyone who gives small people an opportunity to put their content out there and hear what they got to say. No matter good or bad, that's what makes this community great, the support and love we have for each other and for this team. Now that's over. With the 2023 NFL Draft quickly approaching, our General Brad Holmes does not care about a depth chart when he is in the war room. He is going to take the best player available. In the recent power rankings of league general managers, Detroit's third-year front office executive made his way into the top 10, securing a spot at number 7 even ahead of John Snyder of the Seattle Seahawks. General managers sometimes peak in popularity a few years into a major rebuild. The hard part is keeping it going like Brandon Beane in Buffalo rather than peaking too early like Steve Keim in Arizona, Dave Gettleman in Carolina, or Ryan Pace in Chicago. They are all executives of the year. Holmes has done virtually no wrong since arriving, writing Greg Rosenthal. He preceded Dan Campbell by a week and pivoted from the Matthew Stafford era with a home run train that helped quickly build the roster, spawning the most unbridled Lions enthusiasm in memory. Oftentimes, the Lions have waited far too long to move on from a player that clearly had no future with the organization. Moving on from Jeff Okudah in the manner Holmes addressed an obviously challenging situation raised his profile among supporters in Motown. Holmes has also been credited with having 2 really successful drafts. As a result, the team is set up for success well beyond the upcoming 2023 season. Getting to use the Rams' number 6 overall draft pick feels like a pivotal point. The chance to go from fun story to real contender. After 2 top-shelf drafts and a smart free agency haul that focused on improving the secondary, Holmes has more than earned the benefit of the ever-present doubt in Detroit. So all my Detroit Lion fans, as we walk into this 2023 NFL Draft with our General Brad Holmes, a man who is not going to care about a depth chart, he's going to take the best player available. I know the title of this video, and I know we need to go after a defensive tackle. I understand that we picked up a lot of players in the secondary, but hopefully a lot of you guys agree that a cornerback still needs to be on that big board. So we're going to go into 3 cornerbacks in this video. Joey Porter, Devin Witherspoon, and Christian Gonzalez. There's a couple more that I like too, but we're going to focus on these 3. I think they're the top 3. I like Cam Smith too. But here we go. First, we got Joey Porter Jr. In 2022, as a senior, took his game to an elite level, seeking action in 10 games while playing 444 snaps as he logged 24 tackles, 4 assists, made 5 stops in coverage. Porter had 9 pass breakups and surrendered a QB rating when targeted of 63.6. He has fluidity, speed, and quick feet to come down and defend the slot receivers and man coverage. Porter also does a nice job breaking down in space as a tackler after the catch. Long and lean, and a very fluid mover. He shows good route recognition and the ability to transition out of the back pedal and close on the ball fast. He has the core and lower body strength to escort receivers to the sideline when working deep. He showed tremendous instincts with his eyes in the backfield last year, quick when transitioning out of the back pedal. Tracks the ball well and has the natural ball skills for forcing turnovers. Lineup impress at times, when Porter has a quick and powerful punch. His ball skills are good and he plays with an extremely confident and competitive demeanor. Has the quick, agile feet and fluid hips to mirror quickness and change direction underneath, but he's at his best when he's facing the action. His length and leaping ability allow him to high point the ball and make plays. Porter would have had a bigger interception numbers in college had opposing quarterbacks not gone out of their way to avoid him. Mental acuity. Processing speed, experience is in that man's blood. He has excellent body control, playmaking ability, trigger quickly on design screens, ability to shade pass blockers, physical and competitive at catch point. He can clog the lanes upfield with length, lead and shoulder and wrap up. Has the power in the run game to envelope running backs as a tackler. He has scheme versatility. He's incredible reach and influence, effective tackling and tackling radius. He can flip his hips and carry routes while engaged. He has top physical tools. He could very well go number one when we're talking amongst cornerbacks. He could fall to 2, 3, or 4, but I think he's one of the most complete cornerbacks in the draft. As I watched game film, I have changed my opinion, but we'll get to that last. Devon Witherspoon, 6'1", 180 pounds. I think Witherspoon gets a lot of the love from the Detroit staff personally. I don't have a source. That's just me. When you look at teammates competing in the NFL, and then you look at him and what him and Kirby Joseph did, considering Kirby Joseph should have made the all-rookie team this year. I don't know how Kyle Hamilton got it over him. Look at the numbers. But in high school, Witherspoon opted to join Illinois after not being heavily recruited. In 2019, as a freshman, Witherspoon saw a surprising amount of action playing in 12 games, 389 snaps at cornerback for the Fighting Illini. He recorded 16 tackles, 8 assists, while adding 6 stops in coverage. Witherspoon notched up 2 pass breakups and a solid QB rating when targeted of 76.6. As a sophomore in 2020, he played in 7 games and logged 467 snaps for the Fighting Illini. He made 24 tackles, 12 assists, and had 5 stops. In coverage, he totaled 2 interceptions and had an unimpressive QB rating while targeted of 122.6. In 2021, as a junior, Witherspoon played in 10 games and contributed on 740 snaps. He chalked up 46 tackles, 3 assists, and added 19 stops. Witherspoon forced 6 pass breakups and gave up an improved QB rating when targeted of 86.9. Now, in 2022, as a senior, Witherspoon had an elite year, seeing action in 12 games while playing 738 snaps. He logged 32 tackles, 7 assists, and made 16 stops. In coverage, Witherspoon had 14 pass breakups, 3 interceptions, and surrendered in an outstanding QB rating when targeted of just 24.6. He easily has the foot speed and length to stay with slot receivers and 4 wide sets on short patterns. Has both the length and speed to emerge as a starter quickly. He reads receivers' routes and anticipates throws at the first down marker, reads the quarterback's eyes and sees the routes very quickly, then has straight line speed to arrive with or just after the ball. Has been a lead in man coverage, especially in 2022, showing a great understanding of routes and the ability to close quickly. Statistically, the best graded press coverage corner in 2022. Has the quick feet to mirror receivers underneath. Witherspoon also has the fluid hips and top-end speed to turn and run downfield. He shows good awareness when dropping into zone coverage with good route recognition and the ability to break quickly and cover a lot of ground. May still have the skills to excel as a zone defender because of his closing speed to wrap receivers after the catch. Ultra competitive with a motor that never stops. Confidence that never wavers. Excellent quick area quickness and change of direction ability. He has a good feel for a complex route. Has his ability to use his length and physicality to reroute receivers. Absurd ball skills and production. Physicality that carries over to the run game. Aggressive facing receivers at the line of scrimmage. Devon Witherspoon is going to be a good, if not great, NFL quarterback. He would mesh really well with Kirby Joseph considering the history and how they played together at Illinois. Now, Christian Gonzalez. Now let me tell you guys, up until this last week, I've been really ignoring his game film. He wasn't even in my top 3. I really liked Emmanuel Forbes. As I do this commentary, watch what he brings to the table. He is a physical specimen. 6'2", 201 pounds. He's bigger than Devon Witherspoon. He's the same size as Mr. Porter, a little bit heavier, and he has track-like speed. In 2020, as a freshman, Gonzalez saw action in 6 games and played a total of 391 snaps at cornerback for the Buffaloes. He recorded 22 tackles and assists while adding 5 stops in coverage. Gonzalez notched up to 4 pass breakups and a solid QB rating when targeted of 85.3. As a sophomore in 2021, he played in 12 games and logged 811 snaps for the Buffaloes. He made 48 tackles, 6 assists, and had 20 stops. In coverage, he totaled just 4 pass breakups and a QB rating when targeted of 90.0. After the season's end, Gonzalez transferred to Oregon, where as a junior for the Ducks in 2022, Gonzalez saw his production improve drastically. He played in 12 games and took part in 718 snaps for the Ducks. He chalked up 45 tackles, 13 assists, and added 12 stops. In the secondary, Gonzalez forced 6 pass breakups, 4 interceptions, and gave an impressive QB rating of just 74.7. He's a super speedy, athletic corner. He ran track as a senior where he recorded 21.6 seconds in the 200 meters at the Texas State Championships. He made Bruce Fieldman's freak list at number 25. He wrote, Gonzalez wowed the Ducks coaches this offseason with his athleticism, hitting 23.3 miles per hour on the GPS, vertical jumping 42 inches, and power cleaning 325 pounds. He tracks the ball well downfield and shows good ball skills, including the ability to go up and high point it in contested catch situations. He has very good instincts, especially in the box. Sound and a solid tackler, takes good angles in pursuit. Plays well with natural balance and ultra quick feet to mirror underneath. And he's tremendous at reading routes and reading quarterbacks. Has good cover skills, athleticism, and big play ability to lead cornerbacks if Gonzalez matures. He's tall framed with long arms to match. He has powerful hands, straight line speed, and fluidity in his hips. Turning and chasing downfield shouldn't be a problem. Closing speed and the willingness to make the big hit make him one of the more versatile corners in this class. To make a long story short, I think all 3 of these guys could be great NFL players. Statistically, not all of them will. But one of these guys could be the next Sauce. I am not saying to put a cornerback before a defensive tackle position. We didn't address that in this offseason. We did re-sign Bugs. I understand. What I'm saying is there's nothing wrong with drafting a corner to play under veteran leadership. Not to mention, we signed a safety and a cornerback to a 1-year deal. And one of those cornerbacks is coming off a serious injury. Traded our 2020 number 3 pick, Jeff Okudah, to the Atlanta Falcons this year for a 5th round pick. We need to add depth. Just like Philly and what happened with Hargraves, and they had Davis just to replace him. And he might be better. I want to thank everyone if you made it this far for listening. Have a blessed day. One Pride.